What's up, everyone? I'm back again. This time I'm looking at a high dividend stock, and it's Verizon. Ticker symbol VZ. Everyone should know what Verizon Communication is. They have a very high dividend stock, and right now it's said to be a buy. Here's Verizon. It's $40.28 on May 20th. It has a buy analyst and just go over Verizon. It's a common cell phone company, and I'm gonna sit here and analyze and see if it's worth investing in, if it's going to be worth something in 5, 10 years. Right now, I have it on the max, and it's $40.28 right now. What is its dividend yield? Let's see. So this is calculating it for y'all. So if y'all don't understand it, I will screenshot this for y'all, or y'all can stop the screen and just look at it. This is how you calculate the dividend yields. So dividend yield is the annual dividend payments to the stock prices expressed as percentage. So their dividend yield is a 6.36%. So it's a pretty high dividend yield. So you get 12 or 6% on your money every year to have them. So it's a very good stock if you want a dividend yield for the short term. But for an investor, is it worth it? Let's look at it. Well, today it's up, 5.59%. So that's not bad. We could look at the other ones, but we're just looking at Verizon. So is Verizon worth investing in for the long term? Should I buy it? It's predicted to go up. I personally have it on max, and it to me it feels like it is dead in the water. What do I mean by dead in the water? It's going almost exactly horizontal. So I'm looking at the $40, which is the middle, and it's almost staying around this $40 range. And I just want to look at it, see if it's worth it. And overall, is it worth investing in? Like I said, what's the top shareholder? You know what? Vanguard, that's a good company. BlackRock, good, another good company. And Charles Schwab. These are top investors. All right, so top buyers right now are these companies. I don't know them, but I want to see who's the top seller. Oh, BlackRock is selling their shares. So everyone should know that if I see BlackRock doing something, it makes me wonder if it's really worth it. So I always go into the finance. Interesting. In 2023, it's almost all red. So from an investor standpoint, this is not good to look at. It's the growth is negative 2%. The cost of goods sold is negative 7%. Operation costs went negative 28%. So it's not really worth it if it's not growing, and it doesn't look like it's really growing by looking at these numbers. Earnings, it looks like they pretty much flatline on the earning. They're less than 2023 on the first quarter. So, but they did pass the expectation. But if I look at the 2023 Q1 and 2024 Q1, it is significantly lower on the expectation. I don't like that. If it's supposed to be growing, how is it growing in this instance? Remember, the analysts, I don't know who the analysts are, but they do have a buy on this. So I'm not a top analyst. I'm doing it as if I'm going to invest this, is my money into this company for 10 years as an investor. So, as an investor, it lost 39.79% in Q1. Is losing 39% worth it to invest into this company? Q1 losing 39%. I All right, let's BlackRock is the top seller. Well, who's the new shareholders? These people are probably looking for a high dividend. Since it's 6%, they're probably trying to increase their dividend yield in their portfolio, and those are for more like a more for people who are trying to live off their dividend now. So if you're trying to live off your dividend right now, is this a good stock to have? Yes, because it's 6%. So you can get 6% on your money and not really worry about the growth. Because you're getting 6%. Is it the best strategy? I don't think so, because I'm looking for dividend growth stocks and dividend stocks that increase in value. If it's not increasing in value, to me, it's not really worth it. Now, Bank of America is pulling out of it. So if Bank of America is pulling out of it, it's making me think too. I really don't know these other companies. I could look them up, but it doesn't make sense. New shareholders, they could be increasing their thing. The top seller is BlackRock. So BlackRock is getting rid of their stocks from it. So from my standpoint, I'm seeing it as not really worth it, because now they are saying it's bullish right here. So they are saying it is. So I want to see if insider trading, are they buying or selling, which they don't really tell me if they're buying. I think this is just giving them some stocks. So February 29th, that's a good sign that none of them are selling their stocks. They're keeping it, but they got paid with stocks here. That's what this is meaning. They didn't give us a price because they got it as a compensation for working there. Let me see. Yeah. Let's look at the earning reports again. Remember, they did beat their forecast. But when your forecast is almost half, by this chart, almost half of what it's supposed to be in 2023, it doesn't look too good. But we could look at how much will the stock be next year. Now, this kind of makes sense. T-Mobile, Verizon, I don't know what T-Mus is. I have to look that up. So the revenue surprise is in July 2024. It's negative 0.76%. Excuse me there. And just looking at it, let's look at the news. T-Mobile facing a lawsuit from Verizon and AT&T over subscription. So there's some controversy going on between T-Mobile and Verizon. And now, top research. Let's see. T-Mobile jump explain what it does and how it works. That doesn't deal with Verizon. So best dividend stock by Monthly Fools. Well, that's 2 weeks ago. There's an article by Monthly Fools. I try to follow Monthly Fools before, and it didn't give me good results. Just my honest opinion. Doesn't mean I won't read their articles, but it normally isn't the best. So is their dividend stock safe? Well, they're giving 6% on $40, so I think it's 0.72 cents per stock that you're getting. And let's see. Look at the analyst real quick. I like to read what the latest stories are, because that makes an effect. Any news, good or bad, can affect the stock prices. And that's what everyone has to understand. So report of EPS is what we looked at earlier, and they're all red from, and pretty much that sums it up there. Comment down below if you are invested in Verizon. I used to have this stock because of the high dividend, and I kind of fell for it. Well, look, Insider once sold 24,000 stocks. It doesn't say it on here. So they don't tell us, but they have a trend that someone said in the last 3 months sold 24,000 stocks. And they have one. Investors, 40% drop. So if you're an investor like me, you're not buying this stock because all the investors are leaving. And that right there shows you, oh look, now there's a new investor. So I'm watching the market, and it's showing for investors. The earning went up, the finance is low, but would you invest in this stock? I have it on max right here. The 1 day, 5 days, it really hasn't gone up much. It does have an upward trend on the 5 days, but a downward for the monthly. Year to date, they're up 2.51% or 7% for a year, or 6.64% for the year to date. So if I buy this and they gave me 6% increase plus another 6%, I would have got 12% if I took the dividend and reinvest. And the growth would have been more than a little bit, 12%, because I auto buying. So I will probably got 13% increase if I bought this stock based off this number for year to date. But for a year, it's up 11%. So for 1 year, it's up 11%. It's not bad. You would win up about 17% if you bought it on May 20th. But if you bought it 3 years ago, you've been negative 30%. No matter what your dividend is, your whole portfolio for Verizon dropped 30%. That for 5 years, it's negative 30% again. So is it worth investing in? No, because I'm an investor. I'm looking at long-term growth. Long-term growth right here tells me negative 30%. So if I have $100, it'll be worth $70 in a year. Even if they pay me dividend to offset, it might be $80. I still lost money as an investor. They might be paying me, but it's not worth investing in as an investor. Now, if you need it to live day by day, okay. But this is the issue. You see, they are losing some of BlackRock, one of the biggest investors in the world, is leaving Verizon. I can't see it. Fidelity Investment. And like I said, y'all can pick whoever y'all want to follow or use for example. You know, for me, I follow the big companies to see what they do and to look at what they expect from the stock. Because a company that has access to billions of dollars can really screw up a company. And I am an investor, so I have to look at, okay, what will happen if BlackRock pulls out from Verizon? What will happen if Fidelity pulls out from them? Because they are very big investing companies. So if I'm following the trend on this one, it looks like this whatever person is taking a hold of it. But Bank of America's pulling out, and BlackRock's pulling out. Fidelity looks like it's pulling out. So their share changes makes a big difference. KBC Group, I don't know who they are, but they sold 75% of the share change. 59%. And these people, I don't know what company they are really. I can look them up, but it doesn't make sense if I see BlackRock that holds 341 million shares is pulling out, and maybe they're rebalancing. BN Mellon has 28 million shares. Fidelity has 27 million shares. And you have to look at these numbers because these are major stakeholders that are pulling out of the portfolio. So if they're pulling it out of the portfolio, you have to be very careful, because what stops BlackRock selling another 10% next month? If they sell another 10%, they can drop this Verizon price. And you can't trust what the news tell you on should you buy this stock, because that could be fake news. You always have to do your own research on your own stock. The analyst says next year it's going to be about, let's see, right now it's 40, so it's going to be about $45 in is what they're predicting. And do I think it's going to be 45? It might be like 43 next year. So it might go up. But if I'm looking at the day ranges in the 52 weeks, it was $30 in 52 weeks range, and now and the high was 43. Today on 5/20/2024, the range is just 30 or 29 cents difference from opening and closing. So in a few years, will it grow? I don't think so. I think it's going to stay even around 45 by looking at the chart, because it's just sitting there, right? If you go and look at this, you can see that if you draw a line right across the 40, it's hovering around 40, 30, 50, and just sits there. So I don't think Verizon's a good stock to put in your portfolio if you need it for long-term dividend growth and dividend payout. That's just my opinion. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.